Welcome along to this deep dive.
Hello!
Today, we're looking closely at a specific text you shared with us. It's a poem, simply titled Hero.
That's right. And our plan is really just to unpack what's in the text itself.
Exactly. What ideas, what feelings are right there on the page? We're focusing purely on the source material.
Just the words. What story do these words tell us about the speaker's perspective?
Okay, well, to get us all on the same page, let me read the poem. Again, it's called Hero. Hero! I married you because you got pregnant. To me, the relationship was stale and stagnant. But you wouldn't leave me for things to be vacant. So I step up not to be repugnant. I was never in love with you, and somehow I can't. Though the lies are making me breathless until I pant. Dreams of breaking up are all my thoughts planned. Now I have a family. No, I won't, I shan't. Okay, so that very first line. Wow.
Yeah, it's incredibly direct, isn't it? I married you because you got pregnant.
No messing about. Just states it as the reason.
And then immediately the next line gives this internal view. To me, the relationship was stale and stagnant.
Right, so you have the action marriage and the feeling stagnation. Side by side. It's quite a contrast.
Definitely sets up a conflict from the get-go. It wasn't a choice from desire, apparently, but circumstance.
And the speaker seems to underline that, saying the other person wouldn't leave and that they had to step up not to be repugnant.
That phrasing is interesting, not to be repugnant. It sounds less like positive motivation and more like, well, damage control. Avoiding looking bad.
Yeah, avoiding a negative judgment, maybe. It's not framed as I stepped up because I wanted to commit.
Quite the opposite.
Yeah.
And the speaker doubles down on their internal state. I was never in love with you, and somehow I can't. That's very clear. Unequivocal, really.
And this is where, purely looking at the text, the tension really ramps up. This gap between internal feeling and external reality.
You mean with the lies?
Exactly. The speaker says, the lies are making me breathless until I pant. The text suggests this pretense, this gap, is having a physical cost.
An emotional burden manifesting physically, according to the speaker's own words.
And then you get this insight into their thoughts. Dreams of breaking up are all my thoughts plant. The desire for things to be vacant, maybe, like mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that internal yearning for escape is right there.
But it crashes straight into the reality. Now I have a family.
That's the counterweight. The reason stated for not acting on those dreams.
And the speaker's conclusion on this, it's abrupt. No, I won't. I shan't.
Like a door slamming shut on the possibility. The desire is there, but the stated obligation, the family, overrides it. Full stop.
So if we just stick to the text, what picture emerges?
Well, you have a speaker who feels trapped by circumstance from the pregnancy, the partner staying.
States clearly there's no love, feels the relationship is stagnant.
Right. Experiences actual physical distress from the dishonesty, the lies.
Dreams constantly of leaving.
But ultimately decides against it, citing the family as the reason. I shan't.
Okay, so then, what about the title? Hero.
Yeah, that's the kicker, isn't it? Given everything the speaker says about their own motivations and feelings.
Marrying out of obligation, feeling trapped, wanting escape, staying because they feel they have to. How does hero fit?
The text itself doesn't tell us why it's called hero. Is it irony? Is it how the speaker sees themselves despite everything? Or how they think others see them?
Or maybe how they feel they should be seen? The text doesn't explicitly state it, but putting the title next to the speaker's own words creates this resonance, or dissonance maybe.
Absolutely. That juxtaposition is part of the text. The title against the content.
So this brief text, just focusing on the words, it really lays out this stark conflict.
Duty versus desire. Stated reasons versus internal feelings. The cost of it all.
And it all comes directly from the speaker's account within the poem. No external interpretation needed, really. The text provides it.
The raw honesty, or perhaps the constructed narrative, is powerful just as it is.
So a final thought for you listening. What does this text, just on its own, suggest about the weight of circumstance? How do those really specific phrases, stale and stagnant, not to be repugnant, breathless until I pant, dreams of breaking up, and that final I shan't, how do they shape your reading of the speaker's world based solely on the words presented?
It's all there in the language the speaker uses. Quite something in such a short piece.